The rain fell softly that night. We sat in a small cafe. Noah sat across from me. We both held hot cups. The room smelled of coffee. I could not say a word. He could not either. We both looked at the door. I was leaving the next day. I would go to Vienna to study. He would go to Paris to write. We both had plans and dreams. We both had fear in us. I wanted to tell him first. I wanted to say, I loved him. The words stayed behind my teeth. My hands shook on the cup. He looked tired and gentle. He said one short thing.
Take care, Eve.
I answered, you too. We stood and left the cafe. The rain made our coats wet. I walked without looking back. He did not call my name. We closed that small door. We closed a young chapter. The silence after that night stayed. I carried it like a weight. I played many pieces after. Each piece carried the same silence. The years passed slowly and fast. I grew into a pianist. I practiced each single day. I learned new pieces and styles. I played in small rooms. I played in large halls too. People clapped. People left. Noah became a writer. I read a review one day. His name was on the page. I felt a small shock. He wrote about loss and time. His books spoke in quiet words. I lived alone a lot. I made friends in cities. I had new places to sleep. But the last night stayed with me. It stayed in quiet hours. It lived inside my music. It lived in broken sentences. I thought about him often. I thought about what I did not say. I thought about what he did not say. There was regret in my chest. There was a soft wish too. I hoped he was okay somewhere. 10 years passed since then. I never forgot it. I did not tell many people. Some nights, I cried alone. Some mornings, I smiled at sun. Now, I was in London. I received an email one day. I was invited to play at a festival. They wanted music with a reading. They named the writer on the bill. I opened the writer's name. My heart beat fast again. Noah Lee. His name was there. I read the email 2 times. I could say no and leave. But I felt a small pull. I answered and agreed to play. The festival day came quickly. I walked into a big hall. It smelled of wood and warm air. My hands were cold. My hands shook. He came in for rehearsal. He looked at the stage first. Then he looked at me. For a moment, we stopped breathing. He smiled and said my name. I smiled back and nodded. We kept work about the show. We hardly spoke of the past. It was strange and safe. I felt my heart beat hard. I felt old fear and new hope. After the rehearsal, we had dinner. A small table in a bar. The lights were low and kind. We did not ask for much. We spoke about the show first. We spoke of sound and timing. Then silence returned between us. I let the words come out. I thought, you did not love me. He looked shocked and soft. He did not speak for a while. He put his spoon down slowly.
I thought, you left on purpose.
He said in a low voice.
I thought, you wanted to go.
My breath came fast then. I never wanted to leave you. I said and did not lie. I left to follow a dream. I was scared. He looked at me for long. He had small tears in his eyes. We both held our cups tight. There was no blame in that talk. There was tired truth and relief. We spoke of small things next. He told me of long nights writing. I told him of long trains and flights. Our words were plain and short. Our words felt honest and real. The night came for the show. The hall filled with quiet people. Lights shone on the stage. My piano sat like an old friend. Noah read his words first. His words were short and clear. His story was about two people. It was about a night like ours. Then I played the piano. My fingers moved without plan. I played the songs I felt. I played every piece softly. I did not try to show skill. I tried to speak with sound. As I played, I remembered the cafe. I remembered the rain and steps. My hands told him what I could not. I felt something open inside me. The music felt honest and pure. When the last chord ended, the room stayed very quiet. I looked toward the stage edge. Noah stood and clapped slowly. He had tears on his face. I felt my own face wet too. After the show, he came to me. He had a small envelope. He looked tired, but calm. He gave it to me, with 2 hands. He said,
I wrote this then. But I never sent it.
I held the paper close. My hands touched the ink. I read one short line.
I hope you find the music.
That was all he wrote. Only silence was left. I looked up at him then. I said, I found it today. He smiled small and warm. He said nothing at first. Then, he took my hand softly. We walked outside slowly. The air was cool and clean. We did not speak for a while. We felt both glad and shy. I said to him quietly, it was you. He looked at me and smiled. He said,
It was always you.
We both laughed and cried. In the weeks that followed, we met a lot to work. We planned shows that mixed art. We chose his words and my notes. We called the project Echoes. It felt right and simple. We traveled to small cities. We went to large halls too. We rehearsed in quiet rooms. We fixed small mistakes together. We shared rooms and coffee. We cooked small meals at night. We read drafts and made sounds. We learned new things each day. Sometimes we argued a little. Then we made small peace. The silence between us changed. It was not heavy now. It was warm and gentle. We could look into each other's eyes. We could say small things aloud. One night after a show, we walked by the river. The lights were long on water. He stopped and held my hand. He looked at me so soft. He said,
"I am glad we met."
I said, "I am glad too." We stayed quiet for a while. Then, I took a small breath. "I love you," I said clear. He smiled like the sun.
"I love you too,"
he said. His voice shook a little. I felt the world slow down. We lived with simple days. We worked and ate and slept. We had an ordinary life. We had small, true love too. We didn't need any big words. Just small hands and warm rooms. We held each other at night. We planned new shows and songs. We wrote letters, sometimes. We kept the old paper safe. It rested in a small box. We did not erase the past. We learned from the hurt. We used the pain in our art. We made music from silence. People came to our shows. They cried and smiled a little. They said the work felt honest. We felt proud and calm. I often think of that cafe. I think of the rain and cups. I think of the night I left. Now, I think of the nights we stay. I do not regret much now. Regret still visits sometimes. But it no longer stays long. Love grew in time and work. One morning, years later, I sat at the piano alone. I wrote a small song then. It was soft and clear. It had no long words. It had simple notes and light. I played it for him later. He listened with his head down. When I finished, he smiled wide. He stood and kissed my hand. We made more art after that. We grew older with calm steps. We kept short words and kind looks. We stayed near each other's side. That night no longer felt heavy. It changed into a story. A story we both told with art. A story that did not end sadly. I had waited many years. I had learned to play and wait. I had learned to speak at last. When I said the words, he heard them. We made a life from our sound. We made a life from our words. It was not perfect or quick. But it was ours and true. I sleep holding his hand. I wake with his voice soft. I know I did the right thing. I know I kept my heart open. When I remember that last night, I do not feel only pain. I feel that we tried again. This is the life we chose. It is simple and warm. It is full of small songs. It is full of short, true words. We are not the same young people. We are older, but close. We speak. We touch. We forgive. We love with small steady steps. And, when the rain comes sometimes, we sit in a small cafe. We hold cups and watch the street. We smile, without many words. We know, the music is here. We know, the words were worth waiting.